I recently read Surrounded by Idiots by Thomas Erikson. People who aren't like you seem like idiots. If you're rushing to get things done, a perfectionist colleague who obsesses over details and works at a snail's pace seems like an idiot. Conversely, if you value quality, someone who hastily completes tasks and makes mistakes seems like a reckless idiot. If you're like the first person, you're high in what Erikson calls the dominance trait and are characterized as red. If you're the second person, you're high in the compliance trait and are classified as blue. There are two other traits and colors: stable greens and inspiring yellows. These four colors, red, blue, green, and yellow, represent the distinct ways we differ from one another. If a four-person team had all four colors, the red would boldly and confidently make decisions. The yellow would enthusiastically generate ideas and dominate meeting discussions. The green would say yes to every request and quietly complete most of the work. The blue would meticulously check the work, ask numerous questions, and smile the least. Approximately 5% of people are one color. About 80% of people are two colors, one primary color and a splash of another color. The remaining few are a balance of 3 or 4 colors. This means we can get better understanding the behavior of roughly 85% of people we interact with and work with by identifying their primary colors. When you learn to see people's colors, you will achieve 3 things. You'll be less irritated by people's behavior because you can anticipate their tendencies. You can communicate your ideas better and avoid unnecessary conflict. And lastly, you can better manage and motivate people who work for you. To activate these 3 benefits, let's explore the 4 color behavior traits in more detail. As we do this, consider where you and where people you work with might fit. First, let's create a character icon for each color. Red will be a CEO with their arms crossed. Yellow will be a motivational speaker with their arms in the air. Green will be the warm but patient therapist who's reaching out to shake your hand. And blue will be the quiet accountant with their hands in their pockets. Now let's use a chart to explain the primary differences of all 4 behavior traits. At the top of the chart, we have red on the left and yellow on the right. At the bottom, we have blue on the left and green on the right. The vertical arrow that runs up and down the middle represents the active extroverted versus passive introverted spectrum and explains how each type acts under stress. When things go wrong, reds and yellows spring into action. Reds take on more work and yellows talk to more people. Conversely, greens and blues become quieter and turn inward. Greens retreat to rest and recover, and blues seek solitude to think. The vertical axis is also the risk-taking spectrum. At the top, you have reds and yellows who take risks that blues and greens believe are stupid, but those risks ultimately create more progress. Reds take more capital risk and start more businesses, and yellows are more likely to take social risks by starting conversations with strangers and asking personal questions. Meanwhile, greens and blues hate looking bad and screwing up, so they're incredibly cautious and resist change. Greens and blues will happily stick to their routine and live in the same house for 40 years. Now, the horizontal arrow running left to right through the middle represents the task versus relationship spectrum. This arrow explains why each type does what they do. Reds and blues are task-oriented and prioritize results, which makes them less concerned with people's feelings. Yellows and greens are relationship-oriented and do everything they can to not upset others. This horizontal arrow also differentiates decision-making styles. Reds and blues base their decisions primarily on data and logic, while yellows and greens base their choices on feelings, intuition, and social proof. When you zoom out and look at the chart, you will notice where most conflicts arise: yellows versus blues, and reds versus greens. Blues find the talkative, overly optimistic yellows who don't give them space really annoying, while yellows avoid pessimistic, detail-oriented blues who are quick to critique their ideas. Reds simply don't understand greens who are afraid to speak up, while greens find it uncomfortable to be around assertive, candid reds who frequently lose their temper. Most people are green. They resist change, say yes too often, and are deeply concerned what people think, which makes red-green conflicts the most common color clash. Over the course of any week, you will conflict with other colors. But it's important to remember there are two sides to every color. Someone who angers you can be a significant ally in different circumstances. Blues can be pessimistic and critical, but they protect you from making costly mistakes and looking stupid. Reds might be pushy and hot-tempered, but they obliterate daunting problems by taking massive action. Yellows may talk too much and have their head in the clouds, but if you need to bring people together and make them smile, they're the best people for the job. Greens can be slow to start, but once they get moving, they are loyal teammates who won't disappoint you. Remember these 4 strengths with the acronym PACS. P, precise blues. A, action-oriented reds. C, charming yellows. And S, supportive greens. So now that you understand how people differ from you and how recognizing these differences can reduce frustration, here's how to effectively communicate with each color. When talking to someone with red as their dominant color, get straight to the point and avoid small talk. A red only cares about what is wrong and what needs to happen next. When you talk to a red, project self-confidence because reds respect confidence. When talking to someone with yellow as their dominant color, be playful and positive. Ask how they're feeling while keeping the conversation focused on the future, for yellows have many plans for the future. When talking with a green, don't rush the conversation. Ensure you maintain a calm and relaxed demeanor and never force them to make a decision. Help them decide by suggesting a decision and then asking if it works for them. When talking to blue dominant individuals, be as detailed and precise as possible. Don't say, let's meet around 3 p.m. Say, let's meet at exactly 3:15 p.m. Talk facts, not feelings, and avoid personal questions unless they ask you a personal question first. Now, to more effectively manage and motivate each color, you need to frame your requests in the following ways. To motivate a red, ask them if they're up for a tough challenge, and then turn a task into a competition. To motivate a yellow, paint an exciting vision, then talk about all the fun people they'll get to work with, and give them a little bit of freedom to generate ideas and be creative. To motivate a green, tell them exactly what to do. Provide step-by-step instructions and remove all ambiguity. Finish by telling them you'll take full responsibility if things don't go as planned. And lastly, to convince a blue to act, provide irrefutable data and a thorough analysis to justify a change. Then acknowledge any potential issues and answer all their questions. Finish by stressing the importance of doing quality work and attaining excellence. By tailoring your communication and management style to each personality type, you can connect with more people, achieve better results, avoid unnecessary conflicts, and become a damn good leader. In the end, when someone does something you feel is crazy, careless, or unnecessary, remember that they are simply a different personality color, and their color makes them a good ally in different circumstances. Blues are precise and will protect you from costly errors. Reds are action-oriented and will make things happen. Yellows are charming people who act as the glue in social settings. And greens will be the most supportive and loyal friends you'll have when things get tough. Ultimately, the best teams in the world are a combination of all 4 colors who learn to work well together. That was the core message that I gathered from Surrounded by Idiots by Thomas Erikson. This was a really fun book to read, and it helped me better understand myself and the people around me. I highly recommend it. If you would like a 1-page PDF summary of insights that I gathered from this book, just click the link below and I'll be happy to email it to you. If you already subscribed to the free Productivity Game email newsletter, this PDF is sitting in your inbox. If you like this video, please share it. And as always, thanks for watching and have yourself a productive week.